Argentina is the future of America. And we can see this by looking at the statistics, looking at the news for what's happening in Argentina and how it has unfolded. And then we look to the United States and see the same things occurring. Let's get into some of those today. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. Argentine peso slides as officials say the currency is under attack. Now, the currencies around the world all fluctuate on the markets, and give or take on any day, they could be up or down. However, this is meaningful when the currency begins to collapse, because when that happens, individuals are destroyed and they are being bombarded by all different directions here. And right now in Argentina, you're seeing the currency collapsing, and that makes a big difference when the individual needs to purchase something. Let's go on. Because just recently, Argentina declared in default by the S&P as the talks fail. Argentina accused the vultures for trying to get at them. They were using credit default swaps and everything we've seen before. They could take down a country in no time at all. It works very successfully for these bankers. And they had to declare a default yet again. You probably saw this in the news not too long ago. But you can see that this individual country was unable to keep up with his debts because of the banker schemes. Now, what do you think could happen in the United States if they continue the way they do? All of the pension funds, all of the cities and states, and all of their investments are put into things like this. It's not just, blue chip stocks, for example. It is all these really, really complicated schemes and gambling that they do with the credit default swaps, collateralized debt obligations, all these other things that individual investors would never invest in because it's so unbelievably dangerous. And here they are. This is the future of what you will see. Argentine inflation quickens for the first time in 6 months in July. They are at an extremely high rate of inflation, suggesting that it may go up to 30% this year. And that is just destroying the individual saver. People cannot really get their lives in order when you have 30% inflation, because everything becomes more and more expensive every day. So you tend to watch what you're buying. You have to buy things in advance. You have to store things. You have to do all sorts of preparations you would not do if you thought that money would have the same value in a period of time in the future. This is a big problem. And of course, I see this happening in the United States as well, because you have central bank policies that are destroying the nation, and you have the policies given out by the government, which are basically always handing money to the wrong people. They allow the tax loopholes for the elite, the super rich, not the wealthy that they call wealthy, but the Warren Buffett types, where they give him the bailouts, and the individual making $200,000 a year has to pay all sorts of taxes. That individual is the one who hires people. Let's go on. An Argentine dictator's legacy. This is what I worry about, because whenever you have a currency collapse, whenever you have any sort of financial crisis, it could give rise to a dictator. I wrote about this in my book very briefly. I'll go over that. Basically saying that in Weimar Germany, they abandoned the gold standard or backing of their mark, and then they had to go in to do this because they wanted to fund their involvement in the war. Now, doing this, they actually hyperinflated their currency, and it says by 1923, $1 was equal to 1 trillion marks. Can you believe it? This was said to have contributed to the rise of Hitler, and then I also mentioned that this was the case for Greece, Argentina, and countless others throughout history. We can see that a dictator rise occurs after a crisis because they want a solution. Somebody poses as the savior, and that is how it happens. You could see this already taking place with Obama, and it could get worse in the next few years. We don't know what to expect. What I will advise to you is that we need to keep our eye on this system. We need to watch as they create laws with benefit the elite, benefit these type of individuals who collaborate with the government, with the bankers, with the big corporations, all against us, the individual citizen, using our own currency against us. They increase the inflation, and they are the ones who own all of the real assets, and they don't worry about inflation. They don't have to worry about all of this because their equities continue to increase. Their mansions that they have will never be sold. They never need to worry about housing prices, and so on and so forth. I see what happened in Argentina occurring in the United States, and it isn't so far-fetched. It isn't very dramatic when you look at the statistics. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you will become an insider if you're not already. That is at themoneygps.com. You scroll down to the bottom, you fill in your email address, and you get occasional emails from me with short, concise info.